All right, everyone, welcome to another episode of Views from the Stands. As we are going to kind of recap the divisional round here, excuse me, and talk about the four games, and yeah, just give our thoughts on each of the games. And as you see, we'll start off with the Texans and Baltimore. But before we do that, let me take a quick sip. But as I finish that sip, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, get that notification. But as always, like I say, I always appreciate the supporters and being on this journey with me. So, guys, Ravens, Texans, in Baltimore. This game was pretty tight until the first half. 10-10 ball game. Baltimore played was pretty slow to come off. Pretty much, you could say the same for Houston, even though Baltimore's defense is obviously very, very good. Houston's very respectful at sometimes. They got some holes right now, but they're improving. And so it's a 10-10 ball game. And really, without the punt return, it's a 10-3 ball game, right? So the uh, Ravens obviously came out firing in all cylinders and was very fired up, probably pissed off, and essentially zeroed them out, shut them out in the second half, and put up 24 in the second half. So 17 in the fourth quarter alone. So they definitely were able to continue to put the foot on the pedal and watch kind of Houston slowly uh, fade away. But I mean, what a solid game from Jackson. I mean, 16 of 22 is what you want to be efficient. 152, it is what it is. They were blitzing a lot and probably letting the underneath happen, right? But he had two touchdowns throwing, two touchdowns of running, right? 11 carries, 100 yards. So I mean, the dude's what can you really expect or want more. I don't know. Just a very efficient game, and I mean, at the end of the day, he gets the top job done, right? So I mean, he's definitely an MVP, and I hate to say this because he's a Raven and whatnot, but dude's a monster, right? So, but Texans are going to be back, I think, next year and then for the years to come. D'Amico Ryan's is a very good head coach. CJ Stroud, he's going to be rookie of the year and going to be probably in the MVP conversations for years to come. Dude knows how to throw it. So expect this battle more and expect just Houston to be in the picture. So next one, guys, we got is Green Bay going to San Fran, and this game, man, I expect this to be a very close game. And it's based off what the spread was saying and whatnot, right? It was like a 9.5 spread, or yeah, 10.5. Wow, yeah, definitely would take the plus 10.5. Green Bay's was rolling on all cylinders, right? Green Bay had kind of the break. They were already on the road, so they already have that road mentality. I think that's kind of the difference when you say with Houston, right? You can make the argument, oh well, Houston was played last week, right? And now they're what happened with that? Well, they're at home, and a lot of I guess energy is built up for that time, right? And you could have just had that lump basically, or whatever you want to call it. And so that's kind of how I saw it. Kind of going into the previous week where Houston wasn't going to be able to still have that same energy what we saw previously. And going to Green Bay, I expected they were going to have the same energy and whatnot in offense because of how they played on the road in Dallas. So it's going to be a tightly close game, and it was that 24-21 was the final, but it was 7-6 at half. So again, very close game, but it really kind of came down to the fourth quarter, in my opinion, where Jordan Love threw two picks in the fourth quarter, and really also to be honest, it was also the missed field goal. So the interception was in the third quarter. Apologies. So, but the last one obviously was obviously crucial as well, given that they still had some time to try to make something happen. But if they don't miss that field goal, and I know he's a rookie, and I know he's had a good start compared to other Hall of Fame kickers. Just obviously just sucks missing that field goal, right? We're going to basically kind of hear about it, think about it, talk about it. Uh, always remember this kind of moment right now until they can get over the hump. But similar to the Texans, man, Packers are a young team. Jordan Love is the real deal. They're going to be a team to watch in the years to come. They're going to make some runs. We're going to see this matchup, another matchup. So, and obviously San Fran's not going away. Even though I still think, um, Brock Purdy's not the answer, but they just have so many good players offensively and defensively, and then the schemes they run, it's hard to really hard to lose in my opinion. So both these are Saturday night games, right? So both uh, Ravens and Niners move on to the championship round, which we'll talk about this later this week. And we got the next matchup to start the Sunday, and we got Tampa Bay versus Detroit. So second home game for Detroit, uh, and they get the job done, 31-23, man. And pretty much kind of the theme so far, right? This game was a close game at really up until the fourth quarter. It was 10-10 at half. Both teams were moving the ball, slow starts. Defenses were kind of taking control of the game after the third quarter, 17-17. So basically, team would answer and another team would answer. But I mean, it kind of just came down to turnovers, right? I mean, the first interception was at the beginning of the game. You could definitely make an argument, regardless, that had an impact because I mean they had some mismatches on that Detroit's defense. But at the end of the game as well, right? He had the interception with Baker Mayfield. So I mean, it was a tough game with those two interceptions for my guy, but I mean, still threw for 349, three tutties. But basically, Goff and the Detroit Lions are just an efficient team. 30 for 43. Gibbs had 74 yards. St. Brown had 77 yards off 8 receptions and a tutty. And the Lions, honestly, which we didn't talk about much with the Niners, with Deebo Samuel getting hurt, and he's got a potential to sit this game. So Detroit versus Niners is going to be an interesting matchup. Obviously, Detroit travels to San Fran, but I'm really excited to see what this team could do. Going to be rooting for them, obviously. If you haven't kind of felt my hints or whatnot, but what a tightly close game. I mean, a lot of great football this weekend, and it just kind of comes down to who's going to make the least turnovers and be more efficient on the offensive end. Last but not least, we had the Chiefs versus the Bills. First official playoff road game for Patty Mahomes. The whole crew was in town. We had Taylor Swift, we had the Kelseys, we had even Jason Kelsey, and that was crazy seeing him, drink and get drunk and interact with the fans and whatnot. That was pretty cool. Regardless of this outcome that which we're about to speak. And really the final, guys, 27-24. Man, what a great game. Back and forth games. Both teams just really great defenses, basically, for the most part. Let everything just underneath. Didn't want to give up the big bombs, especially on both of these offenses. And I mean, it really comes down to the missed field goal. the missed field goal at the end of the game. Basically, their 16-play drive they had, right, and Tyler Bass, he pulls it right. And that's again, the theme of this game is like this weekend is special teams and turnovers, right? Who's not giving up the turnovers? Who's um, being smart and making field goals basically on the special teams, not making mistakes, and you're winning games, and that's where it comes down to. These games are so close. It comes down to these little, you know, uh, these little things basically that changes the game, right? One field goal just changes the game. One interception changes the whole game because that you just lost a possession. You didn't score on a possession, right? Uh, so I mean, honestly, hats off to the Chiefs. Uh, kind of expected all kind of three games to happen before this one. I really expected the Bills to win this game, given that they're at home. Just felt they were really the team to advance and move on, and that's not the case. So I mean, Patty Mahomes is now undefeated against Josh Allen in the playoffs, which is just another narrative out there, right, for people and stuff. But now we get guys is we get Kansas City Chiefs going off to face Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore, and then we have the against San Fran. Man, what a matchup would it be if we get like a Kansas City Detroit matchup again, like rematch week one, right? Um, Detroit Baltimore. Yeah, I mean Kansas City San Fran. We kind of already seen that. I mean, Ravens would. This is where my Steelers fans kind of comes in, right? I do not want everyone to see the Ravens going there, but it is what it is. But guys, this will really conclude today's video. Uh, Drop kind of your thoughts and kind of your recap on each of the games, and if you expect another team to win, I definitely want to start hearing your guys' feedback. I've always loved the feedback, the comments, everything that you guys are doing. It's really cool. So yeah, guys, enjoy the rest of your week. We'll drop a couple more videos this week before we head off to Denver for work. But enjoy your guys' week, man. Peace.